With my fighters, we used to fight and then sit down and then process. I learned this from my teacher. And at first I didn't want to share. And he goes, no, you have to understand that as you begin to share, then these are your Kung Fu brothers and sisters. You don't want them to be vulnerable on the street. If you take advantage of them because of certain patterns that they're blind to, you want to expose that to them because they're your Kung Fu brother and sister, and you're a family. So in that, you want to protect them with this truth. And everyone starts sharing. Now, at that time, I had Fort Ord was here. And so I had a lot of special forces guys coming for the class. And when we shared, it seemed like we all had the same father. It was amazing to me. And I remember one of my students, who was a carpenter, he was Robert, and he would sit and he'd go, oh, all this, my dad, this, and he goes, you guys are all whining and stuff. And he's talking to special forces guys. And we're looking at him and I'm going, denial. Well, Robert had a girlfriend named Kim. And they were together since high school. And I had met his mom and dad. And I mean, they were cruel and real distant and mean. And I was just like, wow. And I met Kim, and I understood that she was exactly like his mom. And I could see why he chose her, because of familiarity and convenience. She was just exactly like the mom. After some time, they finally split up. They had been together for 17 years. And through a series of events, she went on. And so he got together with a woman named Linda right after Kim. And he was like, okay, we're going to do this. She goes, okay. Well, then we'll do that. She goes, okay. After 2 weeks, he just fell apart. He knocked on my door. I opened the door, and this Robert's big guy. He's just like, he's crying. He's like, my mom threw me down the stairs. She locked me in there. This happened. I'm like, and all the memories are coming back. And I'm holding him, and he's a big guy. He's crying, he's sobbing, and he goes, why is this happening to me? I go, you were with Kim, so you never changed the pattern. You're now with Linda, who's completely different. And all the armoring and all the patterns aren't working because she's supportive, and you've never had that in your life. And because of that, all your boundary systems fall because they're not effective. And now you're understanding what all of us were talking about as these memories come up. They cause you to be blind to different things. And when we look at it for self-defense, you don't want to be blind and closed off. You want to be awakened to your perceptual awareness. When you're blind and closed off, you become vulnerable to different types of attacks. And so that's why we talk about it. It's not because we're trying to be touchy-feely. We're trying to remove the things that make us vulnerable to the outside. And so that's why we share. And what happened with Robert is after a couple of months of being with Kim, his perceptual awareness and his clairvoyant skills awakened, and he became an incredible healer. And all of that just because it shifted in his environment.
So this is we follow the path of like the martial arts, medicine, and then spirituality per se, or priest training. So why these stories that we thought that we finally heal from, they show up in the next layer on the spiritual training?
Very good. The stories go deeper. The purpose of the stories are lessons. In the spiritual thing, you look back and now you see the cause and effect. You understand why that happened, and it empowers you with the ability to help others. And as you reach out from your own history and your own embodiment of what they're struggling with, it allows them to trust you because, oh, no, I know what you're going through. I went through that too. And this is how I freed myself and got out of that pattern. And so the stories cycle back, because we always say that, no, they're gifts. They were given to you. They're part of your evolution in this tour. So you were given these different things that some were horrendous, but you're not the only people or the person in the world that has gone through that. You have other people that have been through so much worse. So as you heal from this, you now qualify to reach them and to help them, because it's all about service. It's all about reaching outside of ourselves and then helping others. Otherwise, you're selfish. So that's why we go. In the first level, it's about survival. In the second level, it's just about me and surviving and being good. In the second level, it's about healing. It's about me and them. In the third level, because it's a spiritual, you're now being taken care of. And so you can look at the history and understand, this was a very painful time in my life, and this is how I got through that. And this is the skill, the gift of wisdom and knowledge that I learned from this encounter. And this is how I can use it as a tool to help others. And that's where you go from martial arts to healer to priest.